So today we have an 07 Dodge Ram 3500 four-wheel drive. It's a 1-ton crew cab with a 5.9 Cummins in it. I think that's a 5.9. And it has a number of issues. One problem it has is a significant oil leak from the turbo oil feed line. Looks like it's rusted out. And I was going to check the oil to see how low it was, but I see the dipstick is broke off inside the dipstick tube. That's handy. We'll have to see if we can fix that. And the other issue he's complaining about, besides some problems with lights, is a misfire. I noticed it when I drove it in. It's running on 5 cylinders out of 6, and apparently it's had a problem with an injector. So we're going to scan this thing and see what codes it has. So I've ID'd the vehicle and we're going to do a code scan. This is the first time I worked on this vehicle, so this is a new record. He mentioned something about a problem with lights. He left me a note, and his note just says lights. I can't remember if it was a signal light. So it has a fuel injector 1 circuit open. Apparently he's changed the gasket that goes underneath the valve cover, because it's common for problems with that connector. Cooling fan circuit has a problem. Probably the speed sensor in the cooling fan is defective. And left wheels, I noticed the ABS light is on. Left front wheel speed, right front wheel speed, low battery voltage, speaker problem, right low beam, left high beam, right rear left turn control, left low beam, right rear turn control, left high beam. Geez, has it got any working lights? Passenger door on lock and lock, transfer case range select switch, glove box lamp, cabin compartment node cluster internal. And then in the OBD2 stuff, it's just got an injector fault code for cylinder 1. So I can't run this very long because of the oil leak. Let's check out the electrical problem with the injector. So here's the information in Snap-on's troubleshooter for the P0. They got a typo in here. Should be P0201. When it sets when no inductive spike is detected after injector turn-off. Monitored with battery voltage greater than 10 volts and ASD relay energized, so it has to be running, obviously. Possible causes: open and short injector drive circuit, open injector, open ASD supply at injector, faulty PCM connectors, terminals, or wires. Said see reference C124 for diesel wiring. So we're going to have a look at the circuit and check resistance of the injector. So here's the electrical circuit for the fuel injectors, at least for 1, 2, and 3. And the PCM, or engine control module, has a high side driver for number 1 and injector control for number 1. And looks like the valve cover gasket has A, B, C, D, E, and F. So E and F are the 2 wires in question. And it is orange and brown and yellow. So this is connector 116. Fortunately, it's the most convenient one to get to. And my take is that each pair of wires here is injector 1, injector 2, injector 3. Now, my colors don't match the schematic. It says orange and brown, and it's not orange and brown. But regardless, the first 2 pins on there. Now the spec is pretty low, less than 1 ohm. I'm going to check a good injector first, injector number 3. They've already changed this harness connector, or the valve cover gasket, if you will. And I've got a reading of 0.5 minus 0.2, so it's actually 0.3. Now I'm going to go to injector number 1. And I'm on injector number 1's terminals. First 2 terminals in the connector. And it's greater than 40 ohms. Let's change the range here. Let's try 400K just to see if we get a reading. Oh, we got 28,000. So I'm sure it needs an injector. Considering they've already replaced the valve cover gasket assembly. So we'll see what's involved in changing the injector. Just drilled a small hole into the broken dipstick and pulled it out. And no oil. So at least not showing on the dipstick. So we don't want to run this thing anymore. I gotta ask him what kind of oil he's running in it. So now we have a left low beam circuit low active fault code. I've looked at the bulb, it looks good. I tried a new bulb, it didn't make any difference. So there's likely a problem with the wiring between the left low beam and the TIPM. No, I didn't want to go into that. I wanted to go into functional tests and see if I can command it on. Come on, back up. Exit. Functional test. Front fog lights, horn, left high beam, left low beam. It's not currently on, so I'm going to toggle it so nothing's happening. Just to make sure that that function works, I'm going to toggle the high beam, left high beam. And toggle the left high beam. So you can see it's toggling left high beam, so the left low beam circuit has a problem. So basically the low beam driver comes directly from the integrated power module out of connector 5, pin number 4. It's a white dark blue wire and it goes straight to the headlight, no connectors in between, so we can't check anywhere else between. Mind you, that's a short distance, so we're going to have the visual inspection. So I'm looking at the wiring to the headlight there, and I notice all the wires are green, and then it dawns on me, this has a plow on it, so it has a workaround for the plow headlights. So this module here is interconnected in there, so we're going to temporarily disconnect this module to make sure the problem's not in this module. So I disconnected the factory wiring plugged into this connector. I see a little green corrosion on that terminal. I wonder if that's the same wire. And then that goes into this module. Disconnected the module, cleared the fault code for the headlight, and of course now it works fine. So I'm going to look at the wiring to this module in case there's one compromised wire. Maybe we'll get lucky, otherwise it might be something in this plow module. So that wire is labeled low AA, and I'm checking continuity between that wire and the middle connector, pin connector B at this plow harness, and this is labeled low AA on this wire as well, and I have continuity on that wire, 0 ohms resistance. So I'm just going to check the other wire coming back to this connector, which will be should be labeled here as well. Not COM, it's got to be this one. Okay, that's at the other corner by the looks of it. Low 1E. Okay, I'll find that wire in the other connector. So from this low 1E wire to this low 1E wire, which is the output back to the headlight, I have good continuity on that wire. So the magic in the box has failed somehow. I'm going to leave this one just connected directly to the factory plug for now, so at least he's got a left low beam. He's going to have to get another one of these plow controls, plow light control.